Today we're going to be making my perfect pizza dough. So go ahead and pause the recording so that you can get a screenshot, and we'll get started in just a minute. Yeah, that's right. Today we're going to be making Mama's pizza dough. This is the dough that I used when I had my restaurant back in Belize for 5 years. This is the dough that I taught restaurants how to make in their kitchens, and now you're going to be able to make it in your kitchen. I begin by mixing the yeast and the sugar in my bowl, and I buy the active dry yeast in a jar because I go through enough of it. It just makes sense to have it, and I do it by a tablespoon. A tablespoon is equal to 1 envelope. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my water, and what I did was I just gently warmed some distilled water, and this is a key ingredient in your dough. If you use any water that has a lot of minerals in it, you're not going to get the same texture. You won't have the same flavor, and well, it just won't behave correctly when you're ready to stretch it and make your pizza. I gave it a little stir, and I'm going to let it bloom for 5 minutes. I've mixed my gluten with the salt in the bottom of a 1 cup measure, and I've got my olive oil and my water, warm water, all ready to go as well. Now, I know we're living at a time when people really don't want to cook with gluten. It's almost like a 4-letter word, but it's the gluten that gives your dough the elasticity that it needs. Now, before I add it, I just want to show you what this looks like now that the yeast is bloomed. You see it's kind of foamy, and it has almost like a nutty smell to it. It's very nice. All right, so I'm going to add in my gluten and my salt. Give that a little mix. And then I'm going to add in my water and olive oil. Just dump that right in there. Give that a little mix. And now I'm going to put in about 2 cups of my flour. The flour has been added, and I mixed it all together real good with my rubber spatula before I added my dough hook. Now the dough hook is in place, the bowl has been raised, and I'm going to put this on about number 2 or 3 to get it going real good. Yeah, that's about a 3. I'm going to let that go for about 5 minutes, after which I'm going to turn off the mixer and allow it to sit and rise for another 10 minutes. The 10 minutes has passed, and you can see the bubbles that are formed now in the dough, and it's a bit risen. The surface has a bit of a bow to it. So now I'm going to gradually add the last of my water and flour, a little bit at a time, until all the ingredients have been incorporated. The remainder of the flour and the water have been added, and you can see that the dough is not sticking to the bottom of the bowl. This is the perfect texture. It's just what we were looking for. Now I'm going to allow the beater to continue for about 5 more minutes, because it's very important that we activate that gluten. This is how it's done, just by kneading it. While the dough is kneading, I'm going to go ahead and Norwex my surface. And I always use Norwex because this is the only way to be sure that your surface is going to be perfectly clean. The microfiber in these cloths will pick up cells. So it'll pick up bacteria, proteins, anything that might be on your surface. The last thing you want to do is go ahead and make your pizza on a surface that's been sprayed with some kind of chemical, right? We don't want any chemicals. Okay. Our dough is ready. It's perfect. I'm going to go ahead and lower the bowl. I'm going to remove the dough hook and turn it out onto my surface. I've turned the dough out onto my work surface, and it's been coated with some olive oil. You can see the shine. And I've also oiled 3 of these aluminum pizza dough bowls. Now I'm going to separate the dough out into 3 equal portions, and before I can do that, I'm going to have to remove my rings. My Husband and I have a joke that married people cannot make pizza because it gets caught up in your jewelry. Okay, measured them all out so they're all equal in weight. They're each about 630-ish grams. Now what we're going to do is take the dough with well-oiled hands. I picked up some oil from my surface, and we're going to make a smooth ball. So you're going to gather all of the raw edges onto the bottom so that the top is completely smooth. We're going to get some oil on that surface, and we're going to put it in the bowl so that the ugly side is down. Once they're all done, we're going to allow that to rise for about 30-45 minutes until they're about doubled in size. That's what we're going for. Look at these happy little balls of dough. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover them up with some saran wrap, plastic wrap, whatever you've got. This is leftover from the holidays. That's why it's green. Do not adjust your screens, boys and girls. It's actually green. Let these rise for about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. I want them to double in size. And then after they've risen, we can go ahead and make our first pizza. In the meantime, any dough that you don't plan on using today can go into your refrigerator covered for about a week and in the freezer for maybe 2 weeks. Any longer than that, and it just won't have the right texture anymore. It won't have the right elasticity. It won't be as chewy. You'll be able to make a pizza, but it won't be your best. Now the dough is doubled in size. It's more than filled the pan, so we're going to have to just beat them down a little bit and then put them in the fridge for when we're ready to use them.